Hey guys, what's up? This is Stock Retail. Got a real quick one for you. We'll just get right into it. Perhaps you've heard about by now the Allegheny County, whatever, Retirement Fund has created a lawsuit that, frankly, I think is just kind of a nothing burger. So I'm not spinning on it, but nonetheless, for me, when someone pushes, in particular when bullies try to mess with us, I push back. And so I've got a suggestion for apes if you want to think about pushing back a little. I said this on Twitter already. I'm going to say it here on YouTube. So first of all, what this is they're trying to have a class action suit where they're saying basically, when no fair, we don't like that ape shares can vote. I mean, at the time these were announced all the way back last July, it was in all of the filings that ape shares had a vote. So was publicly, communicated. I myself posted a whole Reddit on it. I did a space call on Twitter about it. It was well known that there was voting rights on APE. So first off, that's the case that they're trying to bring. They're bringing it in Delaware, I think probably because that's where AMC is registered. And so I'm going to show you, here's the website to Allegheny County's retirement fund, and there's actually a spot where you can contact them. So I actually myself today contacted them, and here's my thought. And I don't claim this as my own idea. I saw another ape said it. Unfortunately, right now I can't remember who that was, or I would credit you. Sorry about that. But someone was kind of saying, well, this is a class action suit, and for a class action suit, you've got to sort of get a court to sort of certify that you indeed have a class of people you're representing. And in this case, they're going to have to sort of prove that there's a class of investors who own APE, I guess, or at least own AMC, who don't want there to be voting rights on APE. Pretty silly because, from the get-go, if you had AMC, you got APE. So we all, got our own voting rights distributed across them. I've got to think this case will be easily shot down. But here's where I'm going with this. I found a way to contact them and say, okay, if you have to prove that there's a class you're representing, I object and I am not part of that class and you are not allowed to represent me. So I went here and I just wrote that out. I just told them in no way, shape, or form do you represent me. You may not say that I'm part of your class. And what I'm thinking is if we all were fairly vocal about that and communicated that, that there's no way they can prove in court. In fact, if we need to have kind of a countersuit or whatever, we can prove that they don't have a class they're representing because none of us agree to be in their class. I'm glad my APE shares have a vote. I want them to have a vote. So I'm going to put the link to this site in the comments, or I don't know, the description of this video. And so you can go here and contact this director. I think it'd be, I don't know, a sign of the ape's power if we all get real vocal and say, I'm not part of your class and you may not represent me and you do not represent me. I've got a tweet too, so if you don't follow me already on Twitter, I mean, you don't have to follow me, you can just go find this tweet, where I shared the language. I did a screenshot of kind of how I wrote that and what that language is, but the main thing I think is just say, hey, you cannot call me part of your class for your class action suit, and I totally object to this. And I let them know too that if we need to sort of have a countersuit against them, we will, because if they harm the value of our APE or AMC shares, then now they have wronged us and they're going to have to pay. So this is the site. Like I said, I'll link this in the video notes. And then also I'm going to start doing some DD on, I found the Delaware courts. It's called the Court of Chancery in Delaware. I'm going to figure out some ways to contact them and also maybe to find this case specifically. And I think as well, like if we're fairly vocal that, to the court that we do not consider ourselves part of this, that we actually oppose it. I would just like to cause problems for this because as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty angry at them for even attempting this. Also, I don't know if you saw though, and part of why I think it's a whole nothing burger, it's like they own probably less shares than I do. I didn't see the number, but I saw that there's some pretty tiny percents of their portfolio that are in APE and that they hardly own any shares. So, like I said, it's not something I'm spinning on, but also someone tried to mess with us, and so I'm pushing back. So if you're interested, go to that link, or you can kind of just Google them. You can see here, and I think it'd be really great for apes to be really vocal about this. All right, in the meantime, let's go.